Alright, there we go. Now this Twitch stream looks a little better. Hop on board with Hamilton here. Now that the stream quality is a little bit better here. Hamilton starting out his hot lap. The current pace to set, 31.3. I couldn't even get close to that time myself personally in time trial. So those are some really impressive times there these drivers out here are setting. That is why we call it Tier 1 for a reason. Hamilton going through these S's nice and clean here. Draining every bit of battery he's got, but making sure he saves just enough for that Sector 3 bit. I think a lot of drivers get caught out by using too much battery there on that backstretch, that they don't have enough for the rest of the lap, and that really hurts. Hamilton sitting in P9 for now. The 33 flat, P10, can he improve? Good enough for a P6 as he's half a second faster than his previous lap here. Rasha coming in to finish his second hot lap. Ooh, actually decides to pit. We'll just pretend we didn't see this. As we hop on Amaro here. Trying to improve on his time, currently at 34.7. As Gary and Mr. Allen Toast still yet to set out a time. Only got 4 minutes left to go in qualifying. Coming around the tower. Draining every last little bit of battery he has left in the tank. P15 up into P6. 132.1. Still, just from P1 to P6, that's almost 1 whole second. Quite a difference. That's, wow. These drivers really putting everything out there on the track. We hop on board with Gary here. Still yet to set in a time. He comes around to start his first hot lap with just 2:25 left to go in qualifying. We're going to see everybody start to pour out of the pits, trying to get maybe just one more lap. Through the S's now. You can make or break a lot of time right there. Same goes for this hairpin. You can get away with cutting it quite a lot without invalidating your lap. More than what people actually think they can get away with. Going down the back stretch, DRS open, leaving just enough battery, like I said, for the remainder of this lap. He just needs to make sure he doesn't invalidate here. He needs to set in at least a time. With a 33.1. We hop on board with our current P3. We got Andy here, starting his hot lap, going through the hairpin of turn 1. And then now come the S's. Looking really clean, really smooth, very demure, as the ladies might say. He goes down the final stretch. All he needs is about a 1/10.5 or 2/10 just to secure P1. But Josh and DC both currently on an outlap as well. See if they can't retain their front row position. As Andy gets knocked down to P4 by William. But Andy's still with 2 corners to go. Bill might just have something to prove here. He needs 2/10 to get P1. He comes around the final corner, finishing his last lap. And good enough. By 2/10, secures P1 from DJ and Josh. We hop on board with DJ right now, finishing his final lap. Followed by Josh quickly right behind him. DJ goes way wide, invalidating his lap. He's just going to have to deal with the 31-2. As Josh might be able to capitalize on it. He goes around the final corner. And Josh good enough for P2 on DJ there. DJ not able to improve. That's going to wrap up qualifying for us. Not sure if he wouldn't have invalidated right there at that second to last corner. If DJ could have improved just a little bit, maybe even good enough for P1. So he was giving it his all as he goes wide. But he's going to have to settle for P3 there. As we go down the running order, we got Andy taking P1 out of nowhere, followed by Josh, another fast driver. Then we got DJ, William, Websy, Perfect Polly, Rasha, Mr. Allen Toast, Irish Bull, Sir Lewis Hamilton, and then Echo, Great Ace, followed by Brewdog, Sinner, Gary, Kogo, Rocket, NTE, and Georgie, wrapping out the rest of the field. We're going to take a quick 4 to 5 minute break here as everyone's getting their strategies in order. And then we'll begin racing very shortly. Alright, we get ready here in the next minute or so for racing. Just a reminder that tonight, this is our Wednesday night, this is Tier 1 division. So definitely a lot of our faster guys are going to be racing in here. We do have a few reserves. Most of our reserves are our Tier 2 drivers, so they'll be starting in the back. But just a rundown of the schedule. We do race Monday through Thursday. That's 4 nights a week. We have today being Wednesday, this is our Tier 1, followed by Thursday is our Tier 2. And then on Monday, at the beginning of the week, we have our Champions Division, which is no assists, but everything is turned off. And that is a mix of our Tier 1 and Tier 2 drivers, along with Tuesday, which is our Realistic Division. Realistic Division is, we got our faster drivers in the league in the slower cars, and then we have our slower drivers in the faster cars to, you know, make up for a little bit more tighter or closer racing for everybody. As we're going to get started here very soon, the countdown has already started. And we're going to go racing. So that's 5 lights. And we're off. As we go into turn 1 right here. Get a better camera view. A little bit of bumping, of course. Turn 1 is really tight. So we still see some too wide going on. Going into the S's here. Oh, a little bit of a spin there from Irish Bull and the Haas as he goes off. Still a lot of bumping and racing going on. Oh, so we have pile-ups going at the end of Sector 1 here. Lots of cars everywhere, all over the track. That's going to pull out a virtual. Almost too much action for me to even cover. Alright, that was a lot of cars going everywhere. Looks like we have a little bit of a hiccup back here. Not sure who's letting who pass. We hop on board with our front drivers here. There's going to be a lot of incident reports going through Sector 1 there. Has no safety car needed, apparently. I'm sure there's a lot of broken wings left out on that track there. Yeah, we do have a few penalties, but I'm sure those penalties are for passing while under yellow. Almost nothing those drivers can do about getting those 10-second penalties there. That's very unfortunate. Their best bet is for a safety car to come out at this point. As we're going to see some drivers going into the pits here. Maybe trying to search penalties. So with the lap 1 shenanigans out of the way, can actually start finally racing. Looks like Georgie's gonna get around Echo in that RB. Down going into the hairpin. And not able to get the DRS. Really good move from Georgie there. To get the DRS and get the pass done before the corner. As he's gonna secure P7 easily. Do have a little bit of a three-way midfield for P9 here. Got Great Ace, Toast, and Irish Bull. Irish Bull, I'm sure, not happy about losing some spots there on lap 1. This Toast gets around Great Ace. For a wing. Going through the S's. Still a lot of racing to go here. No need to fight your teammate. But on board back with William in this Red Bull. Right behind Perfect Polly, who's on the harder tire set here. Williams mediums probably already set in. Ooh, we have a kick driver. We have Rasha trying to look for a move there on William going into turn 1 hairpin. As we go through the S's now yet again, lap 4. As long as Williams can stay right behind Perfect Polly here, he should have an easy pass going into that backstretch. As Rasha not giving William any breathing room right behind him. Down into the hairpin. A lot of tire smoke. As William using DRS to his advantage, getting around Polly on the harder tire set. Is there, yep, there's going to be a little bit of a dive bomb going into the sharp left-hander. Is he going to be able to stick it? Or is William going to go up the inside on the softer tire? So Perfect Polly on the hards, able to make it stick and get P4 right back from William. And this fight continues. Battle for P4 here. Ooh, as William goes a little wide there, letting Rasha get a little bit of an opportunity of a window, but not close enough to make it happen. So we stay on board with Rasha here, going into the backstretch, DRS open. I don't think either driver are close enough to make anything happen. As William goes down the inside of Perfect Polly, going into the sharp left-hander. He made the pass look easy, but Perfect Polly still has something to say here. They are switching back and forth all over the track, trying to get around one another. Looks like William finally, after a couple of laps of battling, finally gets around Perfect Polly. Gets the move done, and now he secures himself P4 at the moment. But Rasha still trying to get into this fight here. We go to our leaders here. We got Andy, DJ, and Josh. Still sitting at where they started this race from. Not a lot of moves happening from them. I like this battle at the front. As long as no safety cars come out, it's going to come down to strategy. With DJ taking P1 away from Andy here very easily with DRS to his assist. I suspect DJ is going to have enough of this battling. He might switch to the hards early, trying to get the undercut as we saw yesterday night. The undercut seemed very effective here at Texas. I'm sure Andy's going to want that P1 position right back. Is Andy choosing to save battery here? Not worth going for into turn 1. Over the next couple of laps, we might see our medium drivers start to struggle a little bit. As we do have Rasha dropping several places down into P8 right there in front of us. A little bit of a spin. I'm not sure if maybe contact was made there, as he was fighting with Perfect Polly and William for that P4 battle, as he drops back 3 or 4 positions here. Now with the midfield drivers, he's going to want that back. Hop on board with Websy here. He has a little bit of a run on Grade Ace, but not enough. Ooh. A little bit of a lockup, trying to avoid any contact being made there. Hop on board with Irish Bull. Not quite close enough for a run on him here. As Rasha getting closer to Echo and P7 in that RB. We go through the end of lap 8 here. Still 20 laps to go, plenty of racing. No pit stop strategy has come into play just yet, but I do think some of these medium runners might be coming in by lap 9, 10, or 11, trying to get the undercut on some of these hard drivers. As Rasha takes a little bit of a tail slapper there, he's going to get loose and lose a position. Now he's sandwiched in here, in between Echo and Irish Bull. Rasha, definitely one of our faster drivers. Definitely a top contender for a top 5 every week. Back here in the midfield, he's definitely going to want to get these positions back. As he goes down the inside on Echo, maybe not. Go through the hairpin. All comes down to how much battery you got. As Rasha with DRS already ahead is Irish Bull. Coming down the inside, they're going to be 3 wide going down this DRS stretch. With Irish Bull easily taking it, and Rasha maybe down the inside as they go 2 wide through the left-hander. No contact there. Ooh. Really close racing between everybody here. Okay, there's the contact. A little bit with Echo and Rasha there, but I think it's all just fair play. Nothing intentional. We got a 5-car battle here. We got Great Ace and NTE trying to join the fight here. Everybody trying to fight for position. This Echo we just watched take a little bit of a shortcut there. He's going to pick up a penalty. Go into the start of lap 9. Down through the S's once more. Gotta keep it quick and clean through here. You can lose a lot of time. As everyone gets through there safely. Looks like we did have a pit stop last lap from Websy. opting for the hards is we have a virtual. I'm not sure where the virtual might have came from. Maybe a piece of a wing or some debris out on track. Not enough to bring out a safety car. So Andy, under this virtual safety car, still retaining P1. I'm surprised DC in the South Pan being on the mediums under virtual, not opting to go for the undercut and go for hards just yet. I think now would be the perfect lap to switch to hards, because he saved so much time under virtual. Yeah, quite a bit of the field choosing to go into the pits now, while they can make up a little bit of time. We go back to green light racing here. Watching our front runners here. The battle for the podium. Who's going to get P1, 2, or 3? Who's going to get that top spot? As Josh might have a look on Andy, but I think chooses not to. He's going to choose to just save his battery. Is he going to have a look on him here as we go into this tight left-hander? I don't think so. He's not quite close enough. And DC on these 9-lap-old mediums, I think just happy just to stay with them. Stay on that DRS as long as you can before your tires completely just start to lose grip. Looking at the battery level, everybody up here at the front has plenty of battery to use, as they, I'm sure, charged a lot of it during that virtual. Almost like a little bit of a reset. Going down into the hairpin, going into this backstretch with DRS. As Josh might be close enough for a pass here. As he uses his battery very strategically. Still has plenty to defend with as he gets around Andy for that P1 spot. Is Andy not trying to battle it too hard? Not quite at the halfway point, so there's still plenty of racing to go. As you see Hamilton, he must have lost connection earlier, but I think he's back in this race. As he goes a lap down, letting our leaders by. As we start lap 12 here, onto these S's. DJ a little swirly there. As he, I think he might have cut that corner. This medium's definitely not working out for him. As we do see a few people opting to pit on lap 12. Going from mediums to hards now. But not much happening up at the front. Hold up. Alright, there we go. Yeah, not too much happening up at the front with our leaders here. They seem to only be passing on the straightaway as DJ finally opting to pit. I'll get off of those mediums. I think he should have done this move during that virtual a couple of laps ago. Would have saved him a lot of time. You'd be surprised on last. As Polly's gonna be able to get around DJ in the pits here. But Polly definitely having to hit at some point. The rest of the field is pretty stretched out right now, but we do have a little bit of battle with Irish Bull here. NTE. Battle for P11, both drivers on fresh hards. Because I think the kick driver is going to use some of his battery to get around Irish Bull. Tiny bit of contact, but I think we're all good to go here. As NTE makes the overtake happen before the S is here. That's a rare sight. Seeing every single driver on the same tire compound there. Everybody out on the hards. Ooh, as Irish Bull went in that P10 position back as he goes down the inside, forcing NTE wide a little bit there just to avoid the contact from happening. His kick driver definitely retaining his position, not letting Irish Bull get by him here. And the fight continues. As we have another battle right behind them. As Rocket gets right behind Irish Bull. Going into the end of lap 14. Irish Bull under pressure from behind as well. We hop on board with the Echo here. Going through the S's, under pressure a little bit from behind him. Is Rasha not too far back. Trying to catch up to this fight here. We have a four-way battle here. Everybody trying to get P9 here. As it looks like NTE gets around Echo with the help of DRS, as maybe Irish Bull maybe has a look. I think decides to back out. Very smart move on him. As we are just past the halfway mark of this race. Thankfully no safety cars. We did have two virtuals, one on lap 1 and I think another one on lap 8. So, but we're still green flag racing at the moment. You hate to see a safety car come out because then all strategy goes right out the window. Rasha right behind Rocket here, trying to obtain P12. Got a good view of all the battles happening right in front of him. Almost like as if he could eat a bowl of popcorn and just watch everything unfold. As Rocket and Irish Bull both trying to drain their battery here. They both get around Echo. As Echo loses 2 positions. Nothing he could do about it. We do have a car that might have spun out on track here. Great Ace. As he's back up on his feet. We continue racing here. Up on board with some of our front runners here. As DJ trying to get around Perfect Polly, who's yet to pit. As DJ's going to have an easy overtake here with DRS open. As he's trying to make as much time up as possible on Josh and Andy, who's currently sitting up at the front. Still yet to pit. This undercut might be working out for DJ here. If no safety cars come out, it's all going to be about how Josh and Andy might be able to go through the field on those fresh mediums. Try to catch DJ up here at the front. As both of our front runners, beginning of lap 17, still opting to stay out on track. I'm surprised one's not trying to do the undercut on the other. We hop on board with our midfield drivers. Everyone trying to battle for P9 here. So I think Alan Toast might have retired in the pits. Not sure for the reason for that one. But we continue. We go through the S's once again. Lap 17, still have 11.5 laps to go. We have another retiree in the pits. Oh, as we have a couple cars spinning. Both Rocket and Rasha spinning out at the hairpin. Might have been a little bit of contact. We see one of our leaders opting to pit now, going off of those hards after a long stint, switching on to the mediums. So now this battle, 4-way battle, is now turned into a 2-way battle for P8 here. As DJ all by himself, just making up loads of time here. Only 11 seconds from the leader. He has about a 6 to 7 second gap from Josh there that just pitted onto those fresh mediums. As you can see in the bottom right corner of that track map, everyone's stretched out quite a bit. Like some string cheese being pulled apart. As I'm sure Andy might come into the pits. So chooses not to. I think he's at the point where he might go a couple more laps and then maybe even opt for the softs right here at the end of the race. I'm sure Andy, honestly, praying for a safety car. That would help him out a lot. Because then he can easily go on to the softs. Is William on 9-lap old hards. Getting passed here by Josh and that RB going into the start of lap 19. Still 10 laps to go here. Got Websy putting a little bit of pressure on Amaro here. Going into turn 1. He's going to get the pass done made easily. As he's on slightly fresher, hard tires. Amaro being one of our drivers that must have been collected at the beginning of this race. Opting to switch to those hards. I don't know if they're going to make it to the very end. You can only hope so. As Andy finally coming into the pits here, I'm curious to see which tire he might be putting on. We might see some softs as he opts for the medium. Softs are probably only good for about 7 laps max, at least before they start to fall way off. As he drops down into P4, he's got a little bit of time to make up. This DJ coming off of those mediums and opting for those hards earlier. Sitting comfortably with a 4-second lead, but Josh, when Josh came out of the pits, I believe it was 6 seconds he had to make up. He's now down to 4 seconds. So just slowly reeling DJ up there at the front end. You can see P1 right in front of him. Hopping back on board with Brewdog here going through the S's. Lap 29 to go. As they approach a back marker up here. He's going to let him go by as, oh, a little bit of contact made by the back marker. As Brewdog's going to lose a few seconds here. He's right up behind the back of Rocket, but now he's going to have to try to make that up. Amaro on 18-lap old hards, just trying to do everything he can to stay on the back of Websy, to just try to stay in DRS. So he's going to need Websy to pull him along here. Those old hards are not going to do him any favors. As Josh still slowly reeling in DJ up at the front. Josh on the mediums definitely making them work for him. He's getting slowly just closer and closer. Probably projected to catch him here in the next few laps maybe. And then Andy choosing to pit a couple of laps after Josh. Still a 4-second gap. The undercut that Josh made definitely not working in Andy's favor. The undercut is huge on this track, and I don't think a lot of people understand just how much time you can save. And by the looks of it, everybody on the grid just very stretched out right now like an accordion. Not too many battles happening. So we get closer to the end of this race where some of the undercuts might be getting a few passes done. As long as the safety car does not come out, I don't think there's going to be too much more action going on from the drivers today. As Andy sets the fastest lap, 33.9. So Andy definitely on a little bit of a charge here. He's making up some time to Josh, but not too much. I think Andy is catching DJ in P1, so DJ not only is he under threat of Josh catching up to him in the next couple of laps here, he also has Andy right behind him, also trying to make a charge happen. We have a little bit of a wipeout, it seems. Websy, who I think was battling with the Red Bull Amaru, letting Amaru get around him easily as he spins out. I'm sure Amaru could really appreciate that. But we do have Kogo sitting in P15 behind his teammate on the fresh mediums, only 3 seconds behind. He might be able to get around his teammate if his teammate lets him by. Kogo, if he keeps up this pace, he might be able to catch Amaru in P13 up there, who's on old hards. We hop on board back with Josh, only 1.5 behind DJ in the lead, just slowly reeling him in like a fish. Georgie picking up a 3-second time penalty in P5, but he has 8.5 seconds to the car behind. He might be okay. The gap now just 1.3. Not quite close enough to get DRS this lap, but maybe on the next lap for sure. Down to just 1.2. Definitely letting those mediums work for his favor. And closely behind, we still have Andy in that McLaren, also catching this field. The gap almost down to a second now. DJ getting a little slippier out there. We passed the DRS detection zone for the start-finish line. I think Josh might have just barely missed out. But still, the gap now is just 9/10. I love it when there's no safety cars and you can actually see people's strategies come into play here. As I'm sure we go through the S's here, Josh might pick up a lot of time on him here. Gap now just 7/10. I don't know if he's going to get the pass made done this lap going down the backstretch, but maybe we might see a pass happen for P1 on lap 25, if not here. Josh just 4/10 behind DJ for P1. Go down the backstretch. Only got 4.5 laps to go. Yeah, he might be close enough to make the pass happen now. If he does. I'm sure DJ saw this one coming. Almost nothing he can do about it when they're on fresher mediums. All DJ can hope for at this point is maybe just to stay behind Josh and have Josh pull him along so that he can stay away from Andy, who's only just 3 seconds behind him. As we go into the start of lap 25, just 4 laps to go. DJ just trying to hang on to the back of Josh still. I'm sure he's not going to be too fancy about trying to battle him. That'll just let Andy and that McLaren sitting right behind him, 2.2 seconds behind, slowly reeling in DJ. If they battle, that'll let Andy back into this fight. And DJ on 12 lap hards. Having a car behind him, putting him under pressure would not help out. So he's relying everything on Josh, on the mediums to try to pull him along. But maybe I stand corrected. It's DJ getting around Josh here. Trying to retain P1. Being in front of Andy being in front of Josh like this, DJ might be slowing Josh down, letting Andy get closer and closer. As Andy now just 1.7 behind. Even though we got a battle for P1, there's a little bit of a threat from behind as well. As Andy's still reeling in just 1.3. He just might miss out on DRS this lap. But if our front two runners continue to battle, Andy easily would be in DRS range on the fresher mediums. Josh desperately needs to get around DJ here. Gap now to Andy, just under a second. So we're going to have a three-way battle with 2 laps to go after lap 26 here. Gap now just 6 tenths. Make it 5 tenths. Andy in P3. Is Andy getting comfortably with a lot of battery. Definitely saving it for this last lap. As we see the rest of the field on the time interval, everyone very spread out. This DJ might be a sitting duck here as we go 3 wide just for a little moment. And Josh, nothing he can do, losing 2 spots. Andy tries to look at the outside on DJ on those hards. Still a lap and a half to go. Might see some action next lap. As Andy very strategically not trying to make a move, saving that battery as DJ on those old hards making a little bit of a slip up, as it looks like they almost were going to go too wide through these S's but choose not to. DJs. He's currently on the last lap, sitting in P1, under threat from the two softer tires that are just behind him. I'm not sure what's going to happen right here. I'm sure everyone's going to be draining their battery. If there is an opportunity to pass someone, it's going to be right here, as Andy gets around very easily. And Josh right behind. As they bump a little bit, there is some contact. Andy's going to be able to pull away. As DJ loses another position to Josh on those fresher mediums. I don't think there's going to be too much of a fight left. The gap now to P1, Andy's a whole second ahead. Josh and DJ are still back here with a back marker in front of them. Don't think the back marker is going to have too much of an impact on this finish. As DJ tried to get the switchback to work for him, but he made contact with Josh at the final corner, not going to be able to get it done. As Andy, with a 2-second gap, beats out Josh and DC. Get on back here with our P4 driver William. Crossing the line, followed by Georgie. There's not too many battles happening. We do have Echo, just 4/10 behind Rocket and that William. Both drivers on old hards. I think this race is pretty much just about over. Everyone very spread apart from one another. This Rocket's gonna take P10. The Echo right behind him. I think Websy trying to set the hot lap. I don't think he got it. Trying to switch to the softs there at the end and trying to see if he could get it done. And Georgie with driver of the day. I didn't know they let women in here. That's going to wrap up Wednesday, your Tier 1 drivers. Definitely putting on a show right there the last few laps. I wasn't sure who was going to win. It all came down to strategy there. As we see McLaren up at the top of the podium. Very good drive from our top 3 drivers there. They started and finished in the same position. We see Andy, P1, taking that late pit stop strategy. Definitely worked out for him. Followed by Josh and DJ. Very close battle between the 3 of them. Then we have Williams, Georgie, Perfect Polly, NTE, Irish Bull, Rasha, and Rocket. Followed by Brewdog, Echo, Great Ace, Amaro, Kogo, Websy, who did manage to pick up the fastest lap of the race. That'll be some bonus points. Then we have Gary, Hamilton, Sniper, and Toast, wrapping up the rest of the field. That was a good drive from our top 3 drivers. Definitely a battle to maybe even re-watch. So we do have tomorrow night. We have Thursday. It's our Tier 2 drivers. So make sure you tune in, check in for that. So tomorrow we'll wrap up the rest of round 5 at Texas as we head in next week on Monday, going into round 6. If you miss us, we do race 4 days a week. We got Monday through Thursday. Tonight was Wednesday. This is our Tier 1 drivers, followed by Tier 2 tomorrow. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.